can start. Everyone entered, and I see people still are coming, but we can. I will allow to enter even after. Hello, my name is Daria Aksonova. I'm representative from Latvian Council of Science. I am a national contact point responsible for Horizon Europe program. I hope everyone at least have heard about that. I'm responsible for Cluster 2 and for widening activities, as well as for the project Euraccess, in which we are right now starting this event. The session will be recorded and materials will be sent to everyone who is participating. And it's my honor to introduce you to Isar Pir, who is responsible for organizing of this webinar. I hope, Isar, we can hear some welcoming words from you before we start.
Okay, yes, sure. Thank you, everyone. I hope you will find it very interesting. It's a series of webinars, as Daria explained. I'm sorry about, I'm talking from Tel Aviv, and we have to, from time to time, to rush to a shelter, but we are okay, and I hope that the bad guys will be disappeared. But without politics, we are going now to science and to an adventure about mobile researchers. We are striving for excellence, and one of the, let's say, of the key factors is go out from your comfort zone and go to places that you can find yourself in an excellent surrounding to learn, to gain, to get, and also later to give. Wish you luck. Thank you, Daria, for everything. And please introduce our speaker for today.
Yes, I will definitely do that, Isar. Thank you very much for welcoming words. But meanwhile, I would like to also share some slides about the Choose Europe initiative and how it shapes the mobility and talent circulations, just to give you an overview what we are talking about today, and also give you some resources regarding researchers' mobility and how European Commission sees it. So it will be super short. I hope you can see my screen because I cannot see you, but at least I hope that you can see the shared presentation. Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Thank you very much. So when we are talking about Euraccess, it's a pan-European initiative that is heavily focused on talent mobility, or like now, as it mostly regarded to talent circulation. And we are representatives of these initiatives through, we use our portal in order to collaborate, to make researchers visible, and to provide different resources that could support you in your transition, also from, for example, academia to industry or academia to policy, and also in geographical mobility. So the initiative of the European Commission, another one, which is called Choose Europe for Science. I hope you have heard about that. If not, I will tell you about this shortly. So it started in 2025 with the first statement of Commissioner Zakharieva from the European Parliament to the European Parliament, so that Europe is attracting the best minds, and doing it, of course, with the different funding schemes, funding excellent science, as Isar has already mentioned. We have such brochure posted also not only on Choose Europe webpage, but also referred to in different places on Euraccess webpage, where you will have the whole one-stop shop, full package with the different initiatives and funding description and support from the member countries that are provided by different funding authorities. But in the reference to the Choose Europe, we are talking about most important and visible initiatives like MSCA, Choose Europe for Science, different initiatives under ERC, which are called super grants. So they increased the budget, so much more excellent projects could be funded from these initiatives right now. All the funding opportunities are also posted on EURAXESS platform. And we have a specifically dedicated webpage for that, where you can find all the initiatives. But some countries have not yet updated this information. That's why I maybe give you an overview of what you can find on EURAXESS and some very specific targeted initiatives from, for example, Latvia. It just serves you an example how we support researchers in their mobility. So at the EURAXESS webpage, you definitely could find job opportunities, but also funding opportunities. For example, for everyone who are a part of MSCA initiatives or ERC initiatives, if you are searching for postdocs or doctoral students that could be a part of your team, you definitely would like to explore this portal, because it is obligatory for MSCA and ERC to post their job advertisement there as well. We have quite a few, I would say, tools and resources to help you out with not only getting funded, but also getting through this difficult career transition, because mobility is from time to time it is a challenge. I hope today from our speaker we will have an insight of how to cope with these challenges as well, and different brochures on different level of initiatives that are available also on our portals, and are also you can follow for social media accounts. So these are the initiatives. EURAXESS isn't funding anything, but it is supporting you, like providing this information about the funding and job advertisement that are available right now. We have also different initiatives from specifically from Sweden, France, and other countries that are preparing to get more bright minds like yourself, and they are providing additional support even before you apply to the grant. So one of such supports is also provided from Latvian Council of Science, especially for ERC grantees. I hope everyone understands what I'm referring to. These are excellent grants for single researcher. Researchers could be early stage, R1 researcher, which is a postdoc up to 8 years, and R2, R3, R4 researchers as well, different stages and different amounts of funding. But also we are providing you with a mentoring initiative and visiting fellowships program. In case you would like to explore more about those who got funded under this program, you can also ask my dearest colleague, that's Cecilia, who is responsible for ERC. She will guide you through how you can apply, what you can, what financial support can you get. And this initiative is open for everyone who are interested. And the deadline is June 30, 2028. So you still have time. And another one is a Seal of Excellence from Maria Sklodowska-Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship in Latvia. The support is provided, and also I advise you to contact our national contact point representatives that is responsible for Maria Sklodowska-Curie initiatives, which is Liene Kairiša, and ask her if you can get any kind of support, especially if you have written MSCA PF, and it is above threshold, so you will get additional funding for that. I guess this is it from my side, at least for now. If you have any additional questions, please, you can ask, reach out. And now I'm honored to ask to open your microphone Smagul Karajanov, who is ERA chair and now is located in Institute of Solid State Physics in Riga, Latvia, an institution affiliated with the University of Latvia. And I hope he will tell us not only about all the brightest sides, of course, about the researchers' mobility, but also potential challenges and how we can overcome them. Thank you very much, Smagul. It's your turn now.
Yeah. Thank you, Daria and Isser, for inviting me to this platform to deliver a lecture about mobility. It's a great pleasure to me to speak in this platform. I started my PhD career in 1990 when Soviet Union was just collapsed, and when there was no literature in the institute. About 700, 600 people were working, and then suddenly only 200 people have been left. That is one quit. So in such very high risk conditions, I was grown up and here mobilities and communication networking played big role in my future career, I should say. Also, even during student years, mobility played a really big role. So once students, when we were students, we were brought to another city to listen to lectures. And then there I have met my future PhD supervisor. When I listened to his lecture, then I decided for myself, yes, this is a professor whom I would like to do my PhD with. And in about 4 years, and I joined his group and started my PhD. Okay. Let me please then share my screen and present. Okay. Yeah. So originally, I'm from Uzbekistan, from the Autonomous Republic Karakalpakstan. From there, I came to Uzbekistan, to Tashkent, where I did my PhDs. And yes, what can I say about talent mobility in energy research, building scientific impact across border? First of all, I would say that it is a critical catalyst for accelerating scientific productivity in expanding networks and on exchange of knowledge. So this would be very good platform for, yeah. And also it's good for fast track road to excellence and providing access to superior resources and can provide diverse perspectives. Also, it can enhance scientific productivity and quality. For example, we know how China was in terms of science and technology in 1990s, and how China is today. In 1990s and around 2000, if a position is advertised in Europe, most of the applications were coming from China and from India. But today there is almost no applications from China, just it's from India, Pakistan, and from Africa. And then nowadays people are applying for job positions in China. It is, I think here also mobility played a key role. And during the visits, many scientists and young researchers from China, they get very good education, very good training, and sharing knowledge and ideas during the visits from European and from US, Japanese scientific institutions. And then many of them came back to China. And today we see on photovoltaic technology, the first 10 companies are in China. And if we analyze materials research, today's these new concepts on the new materials, for example, such as high entropy alloys, for example, and mixed anion materials and so forth. It is China again in the first place. It can be discovered somewhere else, but quickly within a half year, 1 year, China will be moving into the first place. They have really now very well developed infrastructure and trained manpower as well. So this mobility and the knowledge exchange, infrastructure exchange, that is playing a really big role. And it is also plays very big role on career development and in network building as well. For example, if a student visits another group, they will already get to know the new environment, new people, and new supervisor, learn new skills. In addition, they will become part of this or other several net and groups as well. That will help finding job and build a future career as well. And in this case, mobility, I think, is playing big role because anyway, this face-to-face discussions when and John Gieber, for example, knows a person personally. This is easier to work with rather than getting new person. So anyway, mobility here plays big role in career development and in network building also. And here, knowledge circulation and knowledge exchange, this is also, and here also it plays a very important role. For example, in one place, in one institute or group, there might be not enough facilities to implement many things, like in like material science, for example. Not each and every group can have experts on synchrotron facilities and on ion beam analysis, because these are very big infrastructures that needs to be supported by experts, many engineers. In that case, of course, it's good to have collaboration with those groups, and mobility again here is playing very important role. So, for example, my PhD scholar, he defended thesis last year, and I have sent him to get training on how to perform compositional analysis by using ion beam instrumentations. This was about 1 week course. And another school was arranged in Germany on how to use synchrotron facilities And so the scholar took courses in both places. And in one of them, he performed a lot of experiments. And then today, after defending thesis, he found job in ion beam analysis group. So there are, I think, many such examples. And here, mobility again is playing a very big role, and the transferring like expertise is also so like important when during mobility person not only give but also get also um, um, for example, just I'm working in the field of materials science, but for applications in solar energy, and I mean in solar cells, silicon-based solar cells, in perovskite solar cells, and so forth, and in smart windows, in particular in photochromic windows. Yeah. Yes, so transferring expertise here is very important. And those materials that we are developing, we wanted to know how they can be useful for air cleaning, for example, and to study their photocatalytic performance. But we are not chemists, and we are all material scientists and physicists. And then we invited one visitor from another group that has expertise on photocatalysis and on air cleaning. And then with help of these two people from the group, we built infrastructure and a lot knowledge exchange and expertise and competence exchange has been implemented. So yeah, here mobility again will play a very big role. And today's science, it can be, we can say it is multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. In case of interdisciplinarity also, like a personal knowledge of people and a group is playing big role. From my example earlier, I was invited to do research in Uzbekistan, how local environment influences on photovoltaic modules. The first thing I paid attention to, it was the atmosphere is very dusty. And if PV modules are installed there, then dust will sit down very quickly. Then when we analyzed how often this can take place, we found that from early spring up to beginning of like autumn, this process take place up to October. Okay, and it was very interesting. Is it because of the drying RLC or other two deserts that are surrounding Uzbekistan? There are two more deserts, and one is Kizilkum, the other one Karakum. Third one now is Aralkum. Aralkum is formed because of drying the RLC. People were thinking because of drying the RLC, climate has been changed a lot. Okay, I mean, dust is because of that, and it is because it's coming from the sea. But I was not sure in that. What we did then again, in a conference, I have met an expert who is using NASA satellites for climate change, for where wind is doing from where and where it's moving. Her main topic for PhD was changing how this flora and fauna of the Black Sea is changed, and because of the environmental case. Then I was asking her to follow up the dust which is on the RLC. And we found very fantastic result. It was because of really drying the RLC. But the dust, it was not from RLC itself, but it was coming from Indian Ocean through and from Arabic Peninsula, and then coming to the former RLC basin. And from there, it was moving through Black Sea toward Europe. This is one branch, and the other part, it was moving through Azov Sea to Siberia and reaching Svalbard in Norway. Of course, here, just by effort of local groups, we couldn't get this type of understanding, because in that local environment, I don't know anybody who is working with climate change and atmosphere-like changes. And then during the study, we found that there is no dedicated space satellite that is studying that region. So under such conditions, of course, it was very fantastic to find such an expert in a conference and to build up collaboration and to solve this question. It was really mutually benefit. I have satisfied, for example, my curiosity, and she got a PhD thesis. So how fauna of the Azov Sea, Black Sea is changed because of the dust transfer through RLC. It's a very interesting point. Yeah, and as to access to specialized infrastructure, I already told. Yeah. Okay, and just one more thing I would like to mention is that today's world now is computer world, internet world, and it's world of artificial intelligence now. When I compare it with older times from 1990, then it's very scary how fast the world is changing. In 1990s, I remember in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, we didn't have any computer in the laboratory. And I was using two microcalculator. It's called MK64. It has only 64 steps. So I was using two of them to solve system of two differential equations, nonlinear equations.
I'm sorry if we interrupt. I must run to a shelter. I hope to catch up with my mobile. Sorry, continue, please. Bye-bye.
Okay, yeah. And today, it's very hard to compare with today's time. Today, there are very powerful supercomputers, and yes, but not many, not each and every groups and the countries can allow to do it. So access is needed to them, and access can be provided through personal contacts only. And here also mobility plays a very big role. There are many types of mobility, research mobility types, such as geographic mobility, when expert is moving from one geographic location to the other one. Today, most such movement is taking place from India to Europe to US. It's one of the, there are so many skilled young people, and also intersectoral mobility when working with an academic environment and moving to industry, and from industry to academy. Then also interdisciplinary mobility. For example, one of the very important issues is developing antibacterial coatings and air cleaning coatings from a new class of materials, how to solve it. This cannot be topic for one experts for just on material science. Here for sure, some expertise knowledge is needed on biology as well, and on chemistry as well. So, and we solved it by hiring one PhD student with a background on biology, for example. Okay. Then how to use mobility strategically. First of all, it should be aligned very well with the strategy of the group where visitor is moving from, and with the strategy of the other group where the researcher is moving to. And for each visit, I think it should be very well planned, and the visitor should have a strategy. So it shouldn't be just a visit, perform some work, and coming back. And to have a very a long-lasting collaboration with future career development for solving common scientific challenges. So each such visit better if they will be very well coordinated, and if it aligns well with strategy of the department and strategy of the institutes. Then this brain circulation and innovativeness of the research all will be, I think, successfully implemented. And today there are many platforms that allows implement mobilities successfully. And as Daria mentioned, there is Maria Curie fellowships, Maria Curie doctoral networks, and some bilateral projects, and European projects like Erasmus, for example, or COST. And these will give good platform for exchange visits. And in addition, of course, this Erasmus program that allows student movement from one university to another, from one country to another one. And even it's possible to implement industry academy collaboration. Of course, industry academy collaboration, it has some its own some challenges. Okay, so this I mentioned it already. Yeah, so this one also, yeah. And there are some obstacles related to the international traveling as well. Of course, all the benefits are there, but in addition, there are some obstacles and related risks. Risks I will mention in the next slide. There can be administrative, legal, and social factors. For example, during COVID time, I had one project, and it was about international from India, and from France, and from Japan students. And during COVID time, there were no people showing interest to travel to Japan, India, and France from both sides. So then we have, of course, mitigated the case by selecting 5 candidates from India that travels to Norway. And here, these obstacles are getting visa and the social factors, like, for example, unexpected cases like COVID, when embassy or particular city or university or institute will be blocked and will be in lockdown condition. So these are, of course, the challenges, and it will create risk. Then one of the very interesting risks, it is cultural difference. And different institutes and groups, they have different culture. Just I can compare, I can tell mostly African and Indian institutions. There, in those places, role can differ from that in Europe, for example. One example is in Norway, institute in Norway, working after 5:30 p.m. To get permission to work after that time, we should get first permission, and then there should be one more colleague from permanent staff and the laboratory engineer. But in case of the other countries, situation might be different. And that will cause some kind of surprise in the visitors. Why you are not working up to 10 p.m., for example? They are coming around 10 p.m., 10 a.m. and leaving at 9 and 10 p.m. So this type of challenges can happen. So, of course, all of them, they can be solved very efficiently. Okay, so in conclusion, mobility is a career strategy. It's not just travel, and it will play a very big role in researchers' future career. And it allows to build very long-term collaboration, and in career development, it plays a very big role. Also, it plays a very big role in speeding up to get innovative ideas and to implement them, to bring innovative materials to market. It will for sure play a very big role. Okay, so this is content of my talk, and thank you for attention. And if you have questions, welcome to ask.
Thank you very much. I think it was a great a presentation regarding especially your examples. From time to time, I got an impression that the world around me shrinks so much when you mention so many different locations like Africa, India, China. it's pretty far away from us, you know, and to understand maybe also target whom you should especially maybe it is challenging for early career researchers to navigate all these opportunities. It would be of a very important point, I would say, from the mentor. It depends very much, of course, how we shape our mobility, because we can definitely think about it strategically, but strategy and this effort without structure and smart advice from the mentor is a very demanding thing, I would say, softly speaking.
Yes.
Thank you very much again, and I really welcome everyone to actively participate. You definitely can write your questions in the chat. If you want to know anything about, for example, support initiatives, or where to find information, or what kind of resources you could look into, you also can ask personal questions, I hope, to our host today, to the main person or to our speaker. And you can write in the chat. You can also just omit raising your hand. We are like a small community here, so you can just switch on your microphone and ask in case you would like to know more, or you have some specific questions regarding mobility and collaboration with different actors, I would say, because you mapped also industry here, which is another way of challenge for researchers, maybe to find who would be interested in their work and how to address these people, because we are talking a little bit different languages maybe with them. Industry heavily relies on results, and science not always can deliver. Sad, but true. Maybe you can also have like an example of collaboration with industry. How you see it? Like, is it usually from the interest from the industry side that they order some research on definite matters that they are interested in, or is it also initiative from the academia that spans into the industry and allows maybe to find out how we can collaborate? What is your experience?
Yeah, thank you, Daria. This is very interesting point. Sometimes initiative is coming from research institutes when they feel this is the scientific challenges to be solved, and this solution can present interest to the companies. Then, of course, they will contact those companies, and then collaboration will be established for scientific project. The other way is, of course, company will contact scientific groups and for solving challenges. I mean, within a project. But of course, industry academic collaboration, this will bring new challenge. The challenge is they don't want companies commonly they don't want the results to be published in journals. They want everything to keep confidential. They are interested in results, maybe patents, yeah, but not in publications. So each and every case, when you're a student, for example, or researcher writes a paper, they have to send to company first, and then the company should approve. Then only it is possible to publish. But on the other hand, also, but of course, this will create some problem. What about involvement of PhD students in industry, for example? And for that, some countries in Europe, they have industrial PhD. So all the results of the PhD, it will not be available like publicly. Defense will be public, but not many sensitive information will not be in the thesis. So here, in case of industrial PhD, I don't have too much experience, but it is something like this. I mean, yeah. Also, yeah, in industry, like life, I think it's quite very interesting in case of intellectual property sharing. They will not be interested too much in involving international community, because in each and every country, intellectual property rights, it's differing. In India, it's one case, in China, different case. So, for example, in European companies, they are very strict in case of intellectual property. Yeah.
Yes, but as you mentioned, sending out your publications for approval from the company, it raises from the researcher's perspective so many ethical questions.
Yes.
Yes, and affiliation with a certain company is also, I mean, influence. Definitely, we have here reputational issues. I would say, yeah, that we show it not for reviewers before that, but for the people who are commercially interested in the project. Thank you very much for your answer. It is somewhat clearer, because definitely from case to case it is very, very different, and especially if we are talking about materials that potentially could be of dual use, this raises another issues and maybe much more questions, especially if we are talking about funding, where we promise to be open, transparent, as open as necessary, as closed as possible, or vice versa. But it is a need for researchers who are applying for the funding for European Commission to be aware of FAIR principles, open science principles, and dual use principles, which should be evaluated beforehand, before we submit even our proposal, which, yes, is challenging, and still the tension and pressure on cooperating with industry is real. I guess we all see it and we understand. But to know these key stakeholders that we can contact and we can collaborate with is of crucial importance. That's why it's this intersectoral mobility, as we can refer to, also is very important. It's something for those who are early stage researchers to note on, maybe.
Yes.
And what would be maybe your another question would be your approach as an early stage researchers, where to look for information? Do I need, for example, to identify those key people in my industry and ask them whether I can go for mobility there? Or maybe it is through the connection of my scientific supervisor, which could be also done more easily, I would say, but it is doable, but maybe another effort should be done in these mentoring activities. What would be, as you evaluate right now, what would be your advice for early stage researchers? Where to start?
Yeah. First of all, they can search, for example, these open sources like job advertisements, like, for example, in Euraxis, often it comes, and in some journal websites are coming as well. And in each country, there will be job advertisements. But in my practice, companies hire based on recommendation. They will contact some local and from universities and applied research institutes. They have contact people. They will just send a message, okay, I need this type of expertise. If you have candidate for PhD or engineer or technician position or researcher-like position, then we need. And then they will get in this way mostly and so they will listen to recommendation of people whom they know already. It's just practice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I remind you that you can ask questions either in the chat or just turn on your mic. And maybe while you are thinking, or still, maybe I should give you some space and time for that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, can I ask, like, and we are almost out of time, an hour went very quickly. Have you ever collaborated with the social scientists, or do you even felt the urge or necessity to collaborate? Because you mentioned climate scientists, but I don't exactly refer them as a super social humanities. They are more from the exact science point of view.
Yes. With social scientists, no, I did not collaborate, but I think this is one of the very necessary steps in material science in science. And it's a very good initiative nowadays from European Union about involving them in the research, because it happened, for example, many groups, they have like advanced materials, and they can be advertised, documented in scientific journals, but the audience that will have access, that will have understand, it is too limited. If number of scientists in the world, it's around the 10% of the population. So among the 10%, even less number of people will read it. And it is then here social scientists that will extend this audience to simple people in more understandable language. One very interesting example is that we hired for our project one person he has experience with industry. Okay, our project is related to smart windows. When that person came to started his work, before we hired him, he was having a look at our website and was asking question, what do we mean under smart windows? He knows what stands for uh, uh, like smart displays and computers, yes, but what stands for Windows? So then we realized, okay, by arranging the website, we reached audience that can be understood by experts working in smart windows, but for larger audience, no. And because that's also some kind of art. To explain, to deliver the new knowledge to larger audience, and here collaboration with social scientists maybe would be very, very helpful.
This would be nice, but I would urge you to evaluate social science not only as a communication professionals, but also for those who can explore that maybe society is not yet fully ready to trust these researchers from STEM who are coding, for example, our windows in, as you explained, with this different nano coatings that which could be potentially, as usually people are very urged, you know, that it could be harmful or whatever to the to them, for example, or to the environment. So social scientists definitely could help in first of all, surveying how people, what are their attitudes, even they have thoughts about that or they have no knowledge about that. So we can create a platform for a commonly questions and answers that people could get from directly from the scientists, and to understand whether this increase their awareness level of the subject, their, of course, literacy on the subject, and building trust to be transparent, because it is very nice to be transparent about such matters as nano coating, but sometimes people won't understand what you're talking about at all.
Yep.
So thank you very much. I guess we can definitely finalize. I really would thank you for your presentation. Very coherent, great examples. I hope those people who are registered as EURAXESS users could watch this presentation on the extranet. And in case you have any additional questions about the funding or specifically questions regarding mobility, you have also the people to come to. So I've already took a note on my colleagues that can support you in ERC or MSCA and support funding. And thank you very much, Smagol Karajan. It was really a pleasure to host you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.